Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. Chika, I was going to say something.
So I was just going to make a point that some of these new age filmmakers, maybe not the mainstream filmmakers whose names resonate in a huge way, but some of these new upcoming, emerging filmmakers are actually starting out the process of this collaboration with other African countries. I attended a festival sometime last month in Lagos, and that festival, showcased and hosted quite a number of filmmakers from Kenya, from different African countries, and showcased films from across, the African continent, and that was beautiful to see. And I can only imagine the number of partnerships and collaborations that will even emerge just from that festival alone. So I think it's beginning to happen. We need to encourage that to happen more. I was also going to say that these are easier times now to have the collaboration that you talk about, in talking about collaborations between Nigerians and Black Americans. Just last year in the hospitality and tourism industry, we know how much was recorded in earnings for this country from Dirty December. What is Dirty December? It's Black Americans and many people who live abroad coming back to say, we want to return to the motherland. Yandy Smith, who is a Black American in the entertainment industry, her and her husband just recently got a citizenship in Ghana. So many Black Americans actually want to return home. They have this yearning now to come back home. They know that their roots are here and reside here.
And we must be receptive.
The question is, beyond being receptive, do we have the necessary infrastructure, conducive, enabling environment to make these ones feel comfortable and safe enough to come? The issues that we're battling with security, insecurity, with healthcare.
They want. Is that discomfort?
They want to come up with the uncomfortable. When they feel if they feel unsafe, if they feel they can be kidnapped,
of course,
if they feel that the roads are terrible,
you're right.
Because they're used to the system working where they're coming from.
I was trying to make a point, but you didn't come out, but you're right. Let me take this call. I'll come to you, Amaka. Okay. Thanks for calling from Agodo. You're live.
Yeah. Good morning, Ma.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I need Alaja Nima.
Yes, she'll be back soon.
Okay. Mrs. Morayo, God bless you, Ma. It is well. I want to thank TVCO. I called in yesterday.
Okay.
I'm using this opportunity to say thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
They saved me actually because I was at the BRC station yesterday. I was assaulted because I defended myself. Number one, there was a Sole on the road, and I could not commute with public transport. That was the normal down to CMS. So I had to enter BRC because I believe that it is the state property. And I was really assaulted as a married woman. I was like, is it because I'm not wearing my ring? I don't understand. But I thank God for the police who came to my rescue. And I was arrested because I defended myself. A staff actually assaulted me. He assaulted me heavily. But I thank God that, in essence, what I want to say is that don't enter Sole. Please help us tell our home, go come out with Sole by BRC is going to be possible. Anybody so bad, no, this is where I'm going to.
Thank you very much for that public service. What is Sole?
Sole are vehicles that pick up passengers on the road, so they don't park at designated bus stops. They just, you embark on a bus as you go along the road.
Okay. So thank you very much for giving us that information. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I wanted to say, I think we're not telling enough stories culturally, right? Because if I want to, reference a cultural story in Nigeria, it would be the Yoruba movies. They're telling a lot of Yoruba cultural movies, and the epic movies, the heritage, everything. The Igbos are not really telling enough of the story. The Igbos, we don't really have the Igbo stories. I know, like Charles of Play, that they're retelling like the Neka Pretty Sape and other stuff. But we're not telling the cultural stories. We're not telling a story. The Igbo, like if you say, okay, what happened to how did the Obi of Onitsha come about? We're not telling the stories that matter. We don't have those stories. The Yorubas have they're telling a lot of the cultural stories. They're not telling the stories. The Ibibios, we have a rich culture. And we don't even know, how can I not know the Ibibio culture by the movies? There's so much that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So
there's an opportunity.
There's a market, and we're not tapping into it. Why?
Okay.
And we're looking at Hollywood.
Let me take Imade. Thanks for calling, Imade. You're live. Good morning, Imade. Okay. I think we lost that. Do you have comments on social media? While you take. Go ahead.
Okay, so me, I also want to say the Minister of Art and Culture and Creative, Anatu Musa. I think she has a lot of work to also do in terms of what Chika said about uniting and connecting and. No, sorry, Amaka said, and helping us to merge with other African countries in doing something globally. You understand? Bringing our. So I think she has a lot of work to do to also help Nigeria or Nollywood to go to a bigger site.
I think also, Moyo, I think the government has a huge role to play here.
Definitely, yes.
To have a level playing field. Because the only reason why a Genevieve or a Motola or Stella would live in the US or hope to find a way and inroad into Hollywood is because Nollywood is doing, they're in little pockets. Everybody's just doing their little things. There's not that one uniting force. So you know what? There's a strategy because Hollywood had a unified strategy from the beginning. We also have to have that because if government plays their role, it gives a level playing field where everybody can say, you know what, this is where I want to key in. I want to key into the scripting. I want to key into the wardrobe. I want to key into the writing. I want to key into the production, the camera, lights, set. There are so many parts of a movie production that right now everybody's just doing a little pocket. So I think one of the things we have, because I would rather all our actors put in all their ammunition, their experiences, their expertise into Nollywood. But I don't blame them for leaving because Nollywood too has not been united. They've not had that united front to say, okay, this is how we're going to target this market and maximize the opportunities or the potential in the market.
Yeah, but there's budgets. I believe government gives budget for different sectors.
Certainly.
So what are they using the budget for then if it's not to grow Nollywood to international standard or to put us globally on the map?
So those are conversations we have to have with Minister. Let's take the comments on social media.
All right, so we have a few comments. We have this from Janet. She says, Nigeria is too volatile for Black Americans. They want stability, and that's in East and South Africa, which is the point that I was speaking to. While I was saying that, we're beginning to have collaborations, but there are bigger issues that need to be tackled. So Corey Michael was saying, Chika, do you see your hypocrisy? You want to make your place conducive for outsiders to come, but you haven't made it conducive for us, for yourselves. Yes, I spoke to that, about making the country conducive enough for, if we're going to get to this collaborations. We also have comments from, who else? Let's see.
Glory Joseph says, if I speak Ibibio for one Yoruba man, be sincere, una go gree give me the job. So if we start by saying be true to yourself, whether I'm Ishekiri or Ishan, accept me the way I am from home first.
Let me take, thank God from the weather. Thanks for calling you live.
Yes, I just want to greet you people. I want to greet everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Hello.
I just want to greet you. I want to greet everybody.
Thank you, thank God. Thank God for greeting us. All right. I think it was Amaka that alluded to this earlier. And I know by saying that, when I went to China, let me not use the tush word, squat toilet, shalanga. That's the word. I don't know what they call it in other tribes. But the shalanga that in my entire life, I'm 45 years old in July 6th. I have never seen shalanga in my life. I have heard of it. I know it exists. I've been told about it. I have never with my two eyes seen it until I went to China. I was shocked. I didn't post it. I was in shock. And there is refined shalanga. They don't put the ceramic thing that we have on the floor. I'm like, I'm not squatting. Like, well, that's the toilet. So unfortunately, there was somebody who was using the handicapped figure, which was a regular toilet. So I had to wait for her because all like 20 toilets were all shalanga. I'm like, I know you shalanga in Nigeria. Not come to China tomorrow. Forget about it. But after 2 weeks, at some point,
your legs will pain you.
I had because then we're on the road and they said, "You want to stop on the road? We want to use the toilet." We all came down from the bus. And the public toilet is all shalanga. I had to now start recording. But how am I going to do this thing? Am I facing front? Am I facing back? So the point I'm trying to make is that is somebody using their own culture. They modernized it. So we come here and say we want to refine or want to make the place more convenient. It is that was I was trying to refer to that. It is that your village house. Is that thing that makes you unique? Is that your clay pots they want? Is that your thing that is uniquely African?
But definitely not insecurity.
Definitely not insecurity, absolutely. But is the uniqueness because you bring these foreigners, right? Remember there was a family I had many years ago. They invited African Americans. And they wanted to make the house very conducive. They painted the walls, the couches, everything looked so nice. Those guys came into this beautiful mansion. And in their own mind, they treated them well. Those ones went back. And what they had, they were not impressed because they felt that you gave us all this luxury in the midst of poverty. Everywhere around you was poverty-stricken with people, and here you are trying to make us look that. So them, they couldn't reconcile. So the problem is, I always say that we always feel as if, we are moving forward, let's not make this conducive, but they are not blind that there's poverty in the land. So what they want is structure in the chaos. That I want to arrive and I want to live in Makoko. But in that Makoko, let there be toilets, let there be clean toilets, let there be security, I don't mind saying in Makoko to show the experience of living there, but let it be conducive, let it be secure, let it be hygienic, let it be decent enough. I don't mind staying in that Makoko community. We are the ones looking for living in Ikoyi. They are not interested because what are Ikoyi going to provide for them that they don't already have? So it's that uniqueness that we must continue to see how we can project it. How do we do a movie in Makoko and not just show the poverty, but show that, okay, they are fishermen. They actually go to work. They actually live. I watched a movie from, Indonesia, where somebody they were living just like Makoko, the water community, and they were living decent lives. They were not living in the big mansions, but they were living decent lives. So how do we project what we have to be marketable and exportable? That's really the conversation.
I think mainly because people really travel around the world or even come to Nigeria for 30 December for the local experiences. Yes, so that's it. Like, what are you offering? I don't want to have the same thing that I have here. I want to go somewhere else and experience different cultural, to taste the cultural experiences that you have to offer in your country. So I think we need to, like she said, project what we have.
Yes, I think also that the Dirty December, what made it a huge success is not just the local experience, but the people, the Nigerian people. Because many of the people, these Dirty December people, when they came, they went clubbing, lounges, but it's the essence. There's something very unique and exceptional about a Nigerian that we must play to. Absolutely. So what I'll say is it's important that we love ourselves enough and see value in who we are as a people, where we currently are in the grand scheme of things, and we must play to our strengths. If we're going to collaborate, there's nothing wrong with collaboration. When you go together, you go faster, but it's important that we don't lose sight of who we are while we're collaborating, and that we just continue to go where we're loved. Go where you're appreciated. It's as simple as that. I think that's
When we are your final words.
So I would just want to say, no matter whatever we are going through, I just feel the government has to do more, because no investor, a Tyler Perry will not want to come to Nigeria hearing the insecurity that is going on. So even if we want to play our part, like some people might want to go to the northern part and say, okay, let's play the role, let's film the role of what have happened to bring more awareness and to bring more help for development over there. But nobody will want to because of the insecurity. So I think that's one of the problems government also has to tackle.
I think that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things. Did we take any more comments? Do you have like 1 minute for any? Do you have any important comments?
No, so they were just talking about what you said, the latrine, Nashalanga. Nashalanga might be a Chinese word.
Somebody here said, Andrew in Straight said, that's a lazy generalization about Nigerian mental toughness. There are still African Americans that have been to Nigeria and love it.
Okay. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things that we have. We'll see you tomorrow for Pigeon, and then Monday also. Have a great weekend. See you then. Bye for now. Bye.